What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. We got a great show for you guys today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before we get started, let's say hi to everybody. Starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hello, everyone. I have some sort of um, I don't know what it is, cold flu virus, but it's in my chest, and all I do is cough, and my voice has gotten very much like Tallulah Bankhead. Hello. If you know who Tallulah Bankhead is, fabulous actress from the 1940s.
I don't know. I know who the name is, but I don't really know who she is.
How could you not know who Tallulah Bankhead is and be in the business? She was like one of the biggest stars.
You gotta
Tallulah,
like love it.
Tallulah Bankhead was, anyway, look her up, kids, on your
So
thing.
let's say hi to everybody before we get going and rocking and rolling. Ron's got a little cold, everybody.
It's not a cold. I don't know what it is. I have to go to the doctor. I feel fine. It's just that I have fluids in my, I guess, lungs, and I keep coughing and coughing.
So we want to say
Wait,
hi
wait,
though.
I'm not
Oops.
finished.
Okay.
We had Hope on. Hope came to our party last week. Uh, Hope Diamond, and she's that great singer, the jazz singer. And I found out last week that she had a burning throat and nose. So I think I caught it from her. So now I'm not kissing anybody hello and goodbye anymore. I'm going to do this with the knuckles, because when you start kissing everybody hello and goodbye, and you meet like 100 people in a month, you're bound to catch something.
There you go. So we want to say hi to the team. We'll start off with our Florida team. We've got the fabulous Danielle. Hello, Danielle. How you doing today?
Hello, hello, hello. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
That's very
That
sexy. I
was
like.
good.
Very good, Danielle.
I like that one
Talk
too.
that way when you go on a date, you'll get laid.
I love it. Then we got our Pennsylvania. Oh,
Pennsylvania.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're doing English today, Jim.
Our Pennsylvania crew. What's up, Scott? How you doing? You
Good,
gotta
good.
like love it.
How's your weather? Is the snow gone? Oh, cold, but the snow is gone.
We're like 80. It's nice.
Don't rub it in. Don't be bitchy and rub it in.
Okay.
I never liked that. When I lived back east, and people in California or Florida would say, "Oh, the weather's beautiful. We're in a pool," and meanwhile, I was out there scraping shit off the windshield of my car, freezing to death. Not nice.
You guys are actually warmer than we are here in Florida.
Yeah, well,
There you go.
Florida stinks. So
I gotta love it.
Florida's okay if you're old and in a wheelchair, but if you're young at heart, Florida's not the place. Oops, I keep losing my things.
That's okay. So let's say
Florida's
hi
good
to
for young people. Young people love Florida.
let's say hi to everybody. First of all, we got a chat room full of people. So hello, hello. We've got we want to say hi to Eileen. Ron's got his Eileen Michael Kors watch that she brought him when she came on.
Yeah, but I'm not friends with her anymore.
Yeah. Then we have Irish Ginger from the Irish Ginger Show there. We have Michaela Singleton in the chat room. Hello, Michaela. We have who else do we have here? Let's see. Illy from Estonia is in the chat room. D is in the chat room. I'm going back as far as I can, and I don't see it all. I know B Claudio will be coming. Oh, Raymond Brightfield from the band World 5, who the lead singer of World 5 is going to be our first guest today. He's in the chat room. So what's up, everybody in the chat room? We want to thank everybody.
Is Meg in the chat room?
No, I don't see her in the chat room yet.
Because I want to tell her I'm going to call my boy.
You're going to tell her that you're going to call her.
Yeah, I have to call Meg. It's time.
You got to like love it. So anyway, here's what we got going on, you guys. So we got two guests today. We have Lou Evans. He's the new lead singer for World 5. We've had them on a bunch of times, but never with Lou. He's going to be calling in a little while. And then we're going to have Scott Page, who's from Aerosmith. Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Pink Floyd.
I knew that. How come we just found it out so
I don't know.
long in life?
I'm like such an idiot.
I knew that the minute I met you.
I know.
And it took you all these years.
I know. It took me all these
years.
years to figure out. I don't know what it is. I'm like trying to watch everything that's going on, and I'm having problems. But we have Scott Page coming on, and we're going to talk about his music career and his new thing that he's got called Think Experience. It's really cool. It's a big, cool concert series, and so we're going to have a lot of fun. In the meantime, we got about 10 minutes that Ron's going to talk about something. What are we going to talk about today? We didn't do that
We're
much
going
this
to
week.
talk about this ugly shirt I have on.
Okay.
It's a Jimmy Star shirt. I look like an old woman. Do I not look like a woman? Watch, if I had lipstick, I could look like an old woman in this top. This is an old woman shirt. This shirt, Jimmy, is not a best one of yours.
Oh well.
It's got all people and stuff.
It's got stars and rock and roll stuff
the
and
style, the little round neck and the little sleeves. Not for me. Anyway, if anybody out there is curious as to why I no longer like Eileen Shapiro,
Uh-oh.
because she left me. She absolutely said goodbye, got on the plane, and left me after one glorious week of having her at breakfast every morning. So there you go, Eileen. You're yesterday. I'm over you. Forget about it. No more. Bye bye. Bon voyage.
Yeah, right. She's in the chat room too. And she actually
The
did
only way she could get me to love her again is to come back. If you come back to Palm Springs, I promise I will love you again. And
she did an interview today with Nile Rodgers,
who's Nile Rodgers?
a way famous like musician.
I know nothing about music. I know Johnny Mantis and Peggy Lee, period. That's it. After Johnny Mantis and Peggy Lee, I know nothing about music. I know Pink Floyd because I used to like them when I was in my hippie era. You know, when I was a Gucci hippie. I was the only one that was a hippie that had Goopy epaulets on my shirt.
Gucci.
What did I say?
Goopy.
Well, Gucci, same shit. I mean, you know, you had to be a little goopy to wear Gucci. I mean, really, all those labels are so pretentious and crappy. I hate labels. When I see people all dolled up at LV and Gucci and Dolce, I think they haven't any money. Then I see some rag picker walking down the street and he gets into a chauffeur-driven Rolls Royce. So people with money, it's true. People with money don't advertise it. They have it. They're confident. They say, I'm rich, fuck you. I don't need to show you. But people who want to look rich, they do all the emblems and all the labels. And you're supposed to think they're rich. Not. Because my friends in Boca, all the Jewish women that didn't do anything, they didn't even know where the kitchen was, had servants, maids, housekeepers. And when the Gucci bag got old, they gave them to the housekeepers. So early in the morning, when you went past the bus stops, you'd see all the housekeepers waiting for the bus, and they all had Gucci bags.
So also, that's funny though.
No, it's not. You weren't even listening.
Yes, I was.
You're a liar.
I'm not lying.
You never listen.
I always listen, but I've got lots of things going on.
Never
One thing we
listen
forgot to
You
tell.
never.
I always listen.
I want a divorce, Brandy. come
Anyway,
on.
listen, everybody.
Tomorrow, Brandy.
Listen.
No, I'm divorcing
No,
you on
it's
the air.
Do you want people to know how to watch us?
I don't really care.
Well, I do.
Because
So
who wants to watch you?
they all want to see me. So I
Okay.
forgot to tell everybody. Listen, if you guys go to YouTube, plug in, just type in on YouTube Talk 4 TV. It'll show up, and you can see us live right now, and everybody in the world can see us on the live stream. I tweeted it out to everybody, so that's really cool, and everybody should be enjoying us. And the video will also be going up on our different shows, and we're putting the link in the chat room for you guys to click, and you can see it. User NBAU Ace. I don't know who that is, but hello.
About time you're putting a link so they could come directly in. Do you know how many people say to me, "How do I get your show?"
Well, I posted it on Facebook and I posted it on Twitter, so hopefully everybody's checking it out.
And now, if you have no excuse to say to me, "How do I see you on the show, Ron?" You're so full of shit. It's so easy to find us. It just takes a little effort, you little people out there. How dare you?
Oh, well, I don't know who user NBAUAS is, whoever it is, but hello.
I hate this shirt. I'm going to change it. No, when music comes on, I look like an old broad. This looks like an old house dress. Well, you know what it looks like when you go in the hospital? Those nurses, they have those little cute tops on. This is probably the ugliest shirt you ever made.
I like it. That's Goddess. And Dean's in the chat room. Hey, Dean. And that's Goddess. Goddess.
Where were you? Where the hell were you? I was so worried about you. What's going on, Goddess? You're not yourself. You're not yourself.
We missed you, Goddess.
Are you okay health-wise? Otherwise, I don't give a shit. But I hope you are healthy. That bothers me. If you're not healthy, let me know. I'll send energy.
Yes.
We love you, Goddess, my little chickadee.
Absolutely.
She's so sweet, but she has not been with us for a long time. I think Goddess is going through something.
They say the shirt's not ugly.
You have this. Look at me, what I look like with this round neck thing. All I need is
You just don't like round necks,
I
though.
need
You don't wear a lot of
tits.
round
See,
necks.
Look, if I had tits, look, I'm a chick. See?
You gotta
Hello.
love it.
No, it's a girl's blouse or something. I'm gonna give it to Eileen. It's very baggy, Eileen. So your little 34B.
Goddess says she loves you guys too.
Wait, your 34Bs will fit in it.
It's a 34B. That's little.
That's I'm being cute ass.
Okay, because she's like a 4850D.
No, she's a 40. She's a 44 triple D. She has to have a bra specially made by a parachute company.
And she says she loves it.
Then I'm gonna give it to you, okay, honey? I'm gonna give you this shirt. You'll love it.
Actually, she
Look,
will like it. It's got rock and roll stuff all
and there's
over it.
plenty of room for those knockers if yours.
You gotta love it. Up, I just heard the echo again. D, I think that's on your side.
Whatever. So I'm gonna send you. I'll bring you the shirt when we come.
Yes, when we see you, we'll bring it.
I won't wear it anymore because I won't smell it up.
So anyway, one more time, everybody, go to YouTube, click Talk 4 TV. All you have to do is type it in. You can see us live. Next week, it'll be on the site. It's very cool to have the link to send it out. It really is cool, so everybody can watch us. We're going to call our first guest in a few minutes, but before we do, let's do a little advertisements for us in this show. Since we didn't go anywhere this weekend to tell anybody anything fun, right? We had
Of course we did. We went to Chris Bennett's house for dinner.
Oh, that was Monday.
And we had a wonderful evening. Chris played on the piano and sang.
Oh, Saturday, yes.
Garrick sang. I sang. We all sang. And she owns Loretta Young's house, the legendary movie star. Excuse me. And it's a beautiful house. It has an 80-foot round living room with a round ceiling and all in glass overlooking the pool. Really and truly a movie star's home. And the food was delicious. Chris's lover, Dino, prepared shish kebab like in his country. Where does he come from?
I'm not sure, but the food was
He
excellent.
comes from like
Chicken, beef, shrimp. It was awesome.
I hated it because I don't eat meat. So, the shrimp, I don't eat fish, and the beef and chicken on a skewer with a little pepper. I mean, it was all meat with a little.
I loved it. It was my
Yeah.
favorite meal I've ever had.
I know that because you're going to die one day from cholesterol. So get used to it.
My cholesterol's not high. Oh, we
No,
want to
right.
say R.I.P. and rest in peace to Luke Perry too. He was one of my favorite actors of the 80s and 90s.
Never met him.
I never met him either, but I always liked him, and I have his action figures. So, I'm a big fan of Riverdale. I was a huge fan of Beverly Hills 90210. So we want to say rest in peace him, and also,
Well, now his doll's going to go up triple in value.
I know, I have to find it.
Well, amongst all that crap you got in the office, I mean, Jimmy's got a room. One day we're going to photo. Well, we really shouldn't photograph it because that'll encourage thieves. But well, that's what you do. I mean, Zsa Zsa Gabor used to show off all her jewelry. She would be on television with a 40-carat ring and dead bracelets, and then she wondered why she got mugged. I mean, same thing with Liberace. Liberace walked around strewn in diamonds and whatever, and then he wondered why he had to have security because people made attempts on robbing him. Me, you can rob. All you get is this wristwatch that Eileen Shapiro gave me, and I don't know what it's worth, but it's a beautiful wristwatch.
There you go.
Whose is it?
That's Michael Kors. I got one too,
It's a
but I have to get a
Michael
link
Kors
ticket out of mine.
wristwatch.
Mine's pink.
Yeah,
like a pinkish gold.
like
I love it.
His is a fairy watch. She gave me the man's watch.
I love
Anyway,
it.
I have it on now and I love it. So that's a nice. What am I talking about? I got lost.
I don't know, but I'm gonna do a quick thing. All right, everybody. We want to first of all thank everybody for tuning in, and we're working out all our technical stuff, and it's getting better every week. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank our team. You can hear us every week from 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific time, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern time on W4CY Radio, our home station, and we love it. We're happy to be here. We're also on K4HD Radio in LA. We're on Hit 1069 FM in New York, Jackalope Radio in St. Louis. We're on iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, Podomatic, Podbeam, Audio Boom, Apple TV, Spreaker, and on television you can see us on Vimeo, YouTube, Roku, Comcast On Demand, and very soon we'll be on the Dish Network. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. Our ratings have been really good. We appreciate all your support.
And getting back to the proposal that we got to leave this network and go to a major network, I declined and Jimmy declined, so we're not leaving W4CY.
We love it here.
To go to bigger places. Here's what I figured out. If we get rid of W4CY and we go to the big network, and if we're not good at the big network, they kick us out, we have nothing. So it's better to have what you have than
That we love.
than to try to go and get better. Sometimes it's best to be, who we are. So we're staying, but that doesn't
Plus,
mean.
we get to say
wait,
F.
I'm
and
not finished.
We
This
get to say
microphone is-
words.
I'm pushing this microphone.
I know,
up
but we get to
each-
say things here we
each
can't
no-
say anywhere
see
else.
your nostrils. Let me see.
Yeah.
I'm putting the phone up your nostrils. Oh, I can't. Brandy pack. Tomorrow we look for an apartment. Brandy's. Anyway, this shirt's disgusting. I can't wait to get it off. Ugh. Anyway,
You can go change. We're gonna call
no,
a guest. You have 4 minutes.
made me forget what I was going to say, and it was very important about us. Oh, yes. So if you don't want to lose us on W4CY, we need sponsors because I'm poor. And I work for free every week for the last 7, 8 years. I've been working for free every single week. I do this for you guys out there for free. Would you do it for me for free? Nix nay. I doubt it. Eileen Shapiro would do nothing for me for free. She wouldn't even come to visit me, the little
Yeah,
bitch.
right.
She left me and kissed me goodbye with a big hug, those big tits, right? Oh, I love you, Ron. I love you, Ron. Meanwhile, she got on the plane and she went to New York, and she doesn't really care about me, because if she really cared about me and my friendship, she'd still be here. So there, Eileen Shapiro.
And we do need
Wait,
sponsors.
not finished. May your nipples drip milk for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I
All
could
right,
be
so here's what
bitchy,
we're
I
gonna
could
do.
be evil and bitchy.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a song, you guys. So our next guest that we're gonna call right now, his name is Lou Evans. He's from the band World 5, and they have a brand new single coming out this week. The name of the song is "Be You," which we're gonna play for everybody while we're calling him. Just to let everybody know, the reason that we play these songs before the people come on is because on lots of the television stations that we're on, we can't play the music during the interview because we edit it out. So we're playing it ahead of time. Everybody will know what we're talking about when he comes on. The name of the song is "Be You." It's coming out, I believe, on Friday. The name of the band is World 5. We're getting ready to call the singer, Lou Evans. You guys ready to rock and roll, to call him and to play the song, Dee and Scott?
Yes.
All right, so here we go, everybody, to check it out. World 5. This is like the world premiere. The name of the song is "Be You." Enjoy, and we'll be back with Lou Evans.
What's on your mind? Weighing it down, heart pounding of the hellish kind. Bonded faith and love seem to separate. I don't understand. I'm from the outside looking in. In times like these, you need a friend. You will persevere. All that holds you back is fear. Be the one your soul shines through. Get yourself in gear. Wipe away those needed tears. Be the one your soul shines through. Be you.
5 on the air right now. Mr. Lou Evans, hello, and welcome to the Jimmy Star Show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Congratulations on the song. I actually love it. I think they did a great job in picking you out for a new lead singer because I think the music's awesome. Let me introduce you to everybody before we get started, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Yes. Thank you. Beautiful lyrics, beautiful music, beautiful voice. It's about time we go back to what is called music. I love that song. It's got a great beat. I can dance to it, I can wiggle to it, and I can get happy from it. It's really good, and your voice is fabulous. Very reminiscent of Motown. What do you think of Motown?
Motown's one of my favorite, one of my bigger influences.
That's why you sound like I love Motown too. I was with Motown when Mary Wells was the first one to make it happen. You know, she was the founding lady of Motown. Do you know who Mary Wells was?
I don't know who Mary Wells was. I would love to
pull
know
her,
though.
pull her up on your phone and listen to "Hey, you'd better wake up, yeah, before we break up and you lose me. Look to me, the one who really loves you."
You know the
That's
songs, you
Mary
just didn't know
Wells.
it was Mary
That's
Wells.
Mary Wells, and
I've heard that song, yeah.
she made Motown happen, and you got that Motown sound. So I like your music, Jimmy. Put it in my car.
Absolutely. That's like our Academy Award. If he
Yeah.
says put it in my car, it means it's really
Yeah,
good.
some people come on here. I say, do not put it in my car because I'll crash into a tree to kill myself from listening to that crappy music.
So hold
But
on.
your
Here's what we-
music, your music is good. Do you have an album?
Not
I
yet.
do.
Oh,
I
he
do
does
have
himself.
my own.
What-
But
what's-
with World
what's-
5, we're working on it right now.
So when you have an album, send me one, okay? I want to play it.
Absolutely.
Actually, hey, we should differentiate you guys. So first of all, Lou, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things he's done in his career because he's had an amazing career. To find out about World 5, you go to world5music.com, and to find out about Lou as a singer, because he also has his own solo stuff, you go to louevans.net. And you can see stuff. He's got a great music video he did not a couple years ago that's really good on YouTube. And if you Google him, you find out all kinds of things like, number one, he used to be a professional baseball player, and I'm from Florida. I'm actually from Fort Lauderdale. I was born in Miami, and he was actually a baseball player for the Florida Marlins minor league from 2001 to 2005. You know, I'm gay, so I didn't really watch baseball, but the fact that you were there and I'm from Florida, I thought that was pretty cool. So how did you like playing baseball? Were you like a college baseball player, and then you went to play in the minors?
Yeah. So how that went was, well, I had about 18 innings of college experience. They took me because I was tall, left-handed, and I threw hard. Fairly hard, I guess I could say. I threw pretty well, and so they plucked me really quick. I was very, very lucky, I think. I got noticed in an amateur league playing. It's called Men's Adult Baseball League, and I did very, very well in that league when I was young. And I was playing against guys that were older than me, more experienced, and I was doing really well. And then I played against a guy that was an ex-pro ball player and also a scouting consultant to the Braves. And he invited me out to a little pre-draft workout for one of the main area scouts for the Braves for Northern California, Nevada, and Hawaii. And I threw well in front of him. And then he came up to me and said, "So what would it take to sign you?" And I was really naive. And I said, "Not much."
Oh.
And then he knew he had me, And
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But that was a smart comment, because if you had asked for more, you wouldn't have gotten it. They like the fact that you said not much. They want everything for nothing,
So
that.
actually, when I was a
Right.
little kid, I threw out the ball at the first ball. You know how they throw out the first game ball at a bunch of Braves games just because my dad knew
Yeah,
people, and I met Hank Aaron.
He was the first fairy,
wow.
the first fairy ever to throw a ball.
I met Hank Aaron and all kinds of cool people. It was really cool. I liked
Yeah.
it. So then, were you a singer then also?
I've always been a singer. I've always
Okay.
been a singer as far back as I could remember being, And so how it progressed from there, I ended up joining because that same guy who invited me out was also an assistant coach at San Jose City College. And so I joined that team a little bit later and progressed from being a relief pitcher into a starter toward the end of the season. And scouts started coming out and watching me, and it all happened really fast within a span of like 6-7 months. And then before you know it, draft day comes, I have an agent and all this cool stuff, and yeah, I get plucked. I get plucked.
But
in the
an
19th
agent is
round.
cool stuff.
Yes.
Most people hate their agents.
If that's sports, though, you got to think that's different.
Oh, in Hollywood, everybody hates their agent because their agent doesn't give them Academy Award-winning parts in movies. I have so many. I know a lot of the big stars of today. You know, the big shots, the big names, and they all say the same thing. I could have won the Academy Award if my agent would have gotten me that part. And I think to myself, yeah, right. Keep doing the drugs, baby.
So then you were on American Idol season 4. Which who won season 4? Is that like
Yeah,
Fantasia?
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood
Underwood,
won. Okay,
yeah.
so you're on American Idol, which gives you great exposure as a singer. You know, and you get all kinds of news write-ups from being like going from like a professional baseball player to like a singer on American Idol. Because like I googled you and there's all kinds of stuff about you.
Did you win?
No, he didn't win. Carrie
No.
Underwood.
So okay, I want to be real about this one. So yeah, I did. I made it to American Idol. I made it to Hollywood, and that was a really great experience. To be completely honest with you, I got maybe a combined 5-10 seconds of like national exposure, because they cut out. I thought I was a pretty cool story because I was their first, pro ball player, and they, made this whole thing before I even tried out in front of Randy, Paula, and Simon, and Brandy was the guest judge at the time. They brought all their camera crew and people to my house, to my sister's place where I was at, and interviewed my family, and then followed me to the college I got drafted out of. Took all this footage of me throwing and interviewed my college coaches, and this is before, like I said, I ever interviewed in front of them. So I go to do the audition the next day, and I did well. I felt I did pretty well. Then hey, congratulations, you're going to Hollywood. Cool. Went to Hollywood. Really cool experience. That's a story in itself. But yeah, I got cut because what happened was I had a whole thing. I had to choose from, I think it was 15 songs or 12 to 15 songs I had to choose two to perform. And it was at the Orpheum Theater in downtown LA. And of those 12 to 15, I chose two. And it was The Letter by the Box Tops and Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen. And I learned them. I brought my guitar, had it all down, ready to go. And what you were supposed to say in front of the judges is who you are, where you're from, and why you are the next American Idol. And my mind went blank. I was in front of them. I said, "Hi, I'm Lou Evans. I'm from Milpitas, California, and I'm the next American Idol because I like singing and."
You kind of blew that one.
Oh, darn. Yeah, completely went. And then the music comes on, sang awesome. I felt like I sang great the first song. And then the second song comes on, which was Crazy Little Thing Called Love. And I had it down. I was doing really great. And then the second verse comes around, and this thing called love, it cries in the cradle all night. All that part. Yeah, I forgot it. And instead of it swings, it jives, shakes all over like a jellyfish, I kind of like it. No, I was like, it sings, it jives, let me by, I kind of like it. And then Simon's like, okay, that's enough. I'm like, okay, damn. So then, we go back, and one of the guys who was actually the top two, Bo Bice,
yes,
he was in our group of 10 that was supposed to go up. And I go up to him, little backstory, before we all go out, our group of 10. And I tell him, I said, because he was sitting on the side, like by the steps, like with his hand there. I'm like, he's like nervous. I said, "Hey, how's it going, man?" It was the first time I met him. He goes, "Oh man, I don't know if I can do this. This is crazy. I've never done it." I'm like, well, and I'm building him up. I'm totally inspiring him. I'm like, dude, obviously you're here for a reason. You did something right to get here.
He's
So
great.
just hold that, keep that with you. Know that you're damn, whatever I said, then he gets up and crushes it. He did awesome. So proud. I was like, wow. And then everybody in my group did outstanding. And then I go up. I was the first one to go up though from that group of 10.
Which makes it the
and
worst.
I did that. And so yeah, I got cut then. And that was kind of like, it definitely stung. And then they came up to me and after and said, "Hey, what happened? You know, it looks like you kind of, you know, you misstepped her there or something or off the mark." I said, "Yeah, you know, yeah, I made a mistake." And then they said, "So what are you gonna do now?" I'm like, "Well, go back to playing baseball." And then coincidentally, I don't say coincidentally, but you know, maybe a few months later, it was in June of 2005 is when I decided to hang it up. So months later, I decided to just pursue my music career.
I love it though.
Nerves can do that. I know a lot of big shots that perform. Joan Crawford, you know who Joan Crawford was?
Hmm.
Terrified of live audiences. Joan Crawford, the legendary actress that made 148 movies, terrified of an audience. She would go in front of an audience and not have anything to say. So she would drink a bottle of vodka in her Pepsi Cola bottle and maybe get out there and mumble some drunken stuff. A lot of stars. Glenn Ford, who I knew very well, you know who Glenn Ford is, the actor, shy as hell. In person, he would talk yup, yup. On screen, he was wonderful. Terrified of audience and people. So there are I mean, look at who do we know that's good friends with now who's terrified of an audience who I'm working with. She has a breakdown when she has to go live, and she's fabulous. Is it
I forgot who. It was somebody big.
Linda, I think, or one of our big shot movie singing fans. And I told her, just go out there and make believe you're singing for your family.
Yeah.
See, for me, that's harder.
Just I mean, look, when I've been on stage for 45 years working in comedy stand-up, and I went out there. The audience to me was all my friends. I never had stage fright or screwed up nervously because I used to say to myself, people pay to see me. And that's what you should have thought. Think of this: people paid to see me. I owe them. You know, I owe them. So that's what you have to do. People paid to see me, and now I owe them.
So also though, that's 13 years ago. So now you've put out a solo album. Now you're with World 5. I want to like make sure we're talking about World 5 too.
And you're not shy with us, so I think you've overcome your shyness.
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, we want to give a shout out to everybody in World 5. Raymond's in the chat room. We have Raymond Brightfield. I don't know how to pronounce everybody's name. Stefan Gores, something like that. Joe Gavito, I know that one. Jimmy Olsen and Lou Evans, you guys. We've had several different times. We've had World 5 on the show with two other lead singers that they've had. I actually think that you're the best one. I think
shouldn't say that.
Why not? I think they've all been fantastic. No, I think they're all fantastic, or we wouldn't have had them on the show in the first place.
Yeah, but if somebody out there said they liked me better than you on this show, you'd hang yourself.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
Lots of people like you better.
They all do.
No, I think it's a matter of the vocal styles of all the singers have been a little bit different. I think that you have kind of like a Motown song. Like I could actually,
I love your voice.
I can hear the song. I can hear that new song on the radio. Like right now, people singing along to it. It's very sing-alongable. It's very friendly.
No, you know what it is? It's classic. When you do classic work, there's no time on classic. You know that. And that music has survived 4 or 5 generations of people, 3 generations at least, and it keeps popping back up. And it's great. I mean, it's good for me. I'm 78 years old, so I've been around music a lot of years. Yeah, and I've been around music a lot of years, many decades, from 1940 Frank Sinatra to today. And your sound will live forever. It's not a dated sound like rap now. Rap, I understand, is going out, thank God.
Well, he's going to say something. Go.
I should tell you, that means a lot. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why is because, so my mom and dad were 34 years apart, biological mom and dad. So when I was born, my mom was 24 and my dad was 58. And 2 different generations of music I would listen to. So from a really, really young age, when I'd hang out with my dad, whether we'd be driving to, do whatever we were doing, when we were in the car, we would listen to an AM radio station in the Bay Area. It was called Magic 61. And he used to play the classics that he loved, everything from Bing Crosby to the Andrews Sisters to, you name it, Perry Como, Dean Martin, any of those, and Nat King Cole, one of his favorites, Ella Fitzgerald, and
Johnny Mathis. Don't forget Johnny Mathis.
That's his favorite.
Mathis, yes,
that's my favorite.
Yes, and I was exposed to that, and then at the same time, my mom, growing up in the '60s and '70s, was huge into the Beatles and Elton John and the Monkees, and so I got to hear some two different genres of style as I was growing up, and then through the '80s and '90s, and now what I've written, and I can definitely say that my influence has spawned something similar to that. So you saying it's a classic. That yeah, I take that to heart. It feels good. So thank you.
No, but it's the truth because now that you've explained it, I understand it better. Because in listening to your music, I did hear two sounds. I heard the sound of Motown my day, and I heard a little bit of what's going on today. And I was trying to figure it out, but now you just explained it. Absolutely, your parents gave you a gift, a golden gift. They gave you the gift of then and now. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to be big, my friend. You're going to go. You're going to rock it up.
Thank you.
I think so too. And so, first of all, we should tell everybody too, because World 5, and I don't even know, maybe I'm making this up. World 5, though, I mean, it's a band made up of 5 guys, and they're all over the world. It's not like you're in the San Francisco or in the Bay Area. Somebody's in, like, I don't know, where. Do you know where everybody's from World 5?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah. So right now, Raymond and Jimmy, they both are about an hour and a half from each other, living in Sweden. Stefan Gors, he's living in New Zealand, our lead guitarist, and our other great guitarist / producer, Joe, is in Houston, and me here in the Bay Area. So 3 continents we're spanned out over.
Which I think is really cool.
But you get together when you play.
No, they don't get together.
You do this all over the air? Over the wire?
Yeah, that's the thing. So
how do you coordinate over the wire? I can't believe this.
That is a great question.
Wait, excuse me, hang on. That music, the song I just heard,
they put it all together.
Came over the wire.
Well, they put it all together, like everybody doing their pieces and putting it together.
Oh, God bless today's
Hey, tell us technology. Tell us a little bit about how they, because I think people would be interested in that.
Yes, I'm interested.
Exactly. So yes, exactly. Technology is like one of the big things here, is main thing. So back maybe about a year ago or so, I got a random message from Raymond. He sent me a message saying, "Hi Lou, I'm just want to let you know that I'm interested in your music, and basically wanting me to join World 5." And so during that amount of time, I was interested. I listened to the music. I thought it was cool. I listened to the musicianship, and wow, I was blown away. They were all fantastic musicians, but I was very upfront with him from the beginning because I'm a busy guy. I have a part-time job. I have a full-time job as a musician, an entertainer, and I was having a baby. So my
congratulations.
Was your delivery hard? When you were having your baby? Well, did they knock you out when you delivered, or did you have natural? What'd you get anyway? What kind of baby? What'd you get? Boy or a girl?
We have a little boy. Yeah.
Good. What's his name?
Uriel.
Uriel, God bless him.
Congratulations.
Family is what it's all about. Family is it.
Exactly. And so my wife Alasia was pregnant at the time, and so I said, and this is our first child, so I have a lot of things on my plate I have to manage, and I can't devote full time to the band as far as everything. And they said, "No problem, Lou. That's fine. We're all dads. Some of us even granddads. So it's all good. We just whenever you have the time, you just get in there and make it happen." And he was very persistent with me. So I sent him just to see what they would do. I sent them just a raw recording of me that my friend produced. It was just acoustic of a song that I wrote years ago. And what they did was, first I sent it to Raymond. He puts his drums on it. He sends it to Stefan, put his bass and everything. Then sent it across to Stefan, all via emails, And he put his guitar part, sent it to Joe. Joe added his vibe and his feel to it, probably on the guitar and whatever else, and then produced it and mixed it, mastered it, sent it back to me, and it sounded beautiful. It's like, wow, that was awesome. And so then they asked me to send another more recent song, which was "Be You." And so I sent them that.
Which is a great song. It's a really good song.
Thank you. And it's they did the same thing, brought it back to me. And what was it, when it came back to me, it was different than how I envisioned it to be. But and at the same time, I loved it. It was golden. So I said, yeah, that sounds great. And then it was back in December. They sent me the contract, and I had never signed a record contract before or a distribution kind of a deal like that at that kind of magnitude. And so I took my time as far as being able to really look it over, and so I read it multiple times. I, had a contract lawyer, had two of my very, smart friends that I trusted to read over and tell me what they thought, and I got the goods and the pros and cons, and the pros just completely outweighed the cons for me. And so I signed the contract, and now I'm officially a signed artist, and it feels great with a phenomenal band that makes me sound even better. So
And when does this single actually come out? It comes out Friday, right? Because it's not out yet.
yeah, it comes out this Friday.
Well, we have 4.5 million people right now watching you. So let's hope out of the 4.5 million, 2.5
Listening.
million buy it. So that's good. I mean, this is good exposure. And your music is good. It's very hard. Sometimes we have guests on, their music isn't so great. And I feel badly because I know that they stink. No, I know the music stinks. It's never going to go anywhere. But it's so nice to be with somebody like you that's going to go somewhere, because your song is really, the PU, I call it PU, but it's BU, but I like PU better, is a good song. And I encourage everybody to put it in there. What is that bitch that we talked to, that little round thing?
Oh,
Alexa?
You can play it on your Alexa.
Yeah, play it on your Alexa.
Yeah.
You can't play it yet because it's not out yet,
No,
but it
but
will
next-
be.
it'll
And
be
it'll
out-
be on Spotify and all the
It'll
places
be
that
out
we go.
Friday.
'Cause I'm a
so
Spotify guy.
if you want really good music, and if you have friends over and you want to make your party a little more happening, play this, because it's kind of like this kind of music. You get that like way
You gotta
as
love
you're
it.
eating and drinking, you're just kind of like sitting there bouncing around.
So
And that makes a party good.
So you guys, what we want you to do too is follow everybody in social media. World 5's Twitter is at World with the number 5 music. Their website is World with the number 5 music.com. Lou is LouEvans.net. And what's your Twitter? What's your Twitter? I know you have one.
Right. You can literally just type my name in. But as far as the Twitter, that would be really it. It would just say at Lou Evans Music, or you can just put Lou Evans and it comes right
It'll
up.
come up. There you go. So you want to follow him in social media so you can see what's going on with everything, with the band and with Lou himself. And what else you got? Anything? You guys got any?
Well, I want to say thank you for coming on today, because it was raining here in Palm Springs. Would you believe that? The desert gets rain. And when it rains, we all get so depressed because we want that sun out
We
there.
like sun.
So listening to your music kind of hyped me up and made me like feel better about the crappy weather. But
Thank you.
yeah, I said another thing out there, guys. Listen, if you're down and out and you're kind of like, getting the blues and the bummers, put this music on. I guarantee as you vacuum, you'll be dancing.
There you go, everybody. The name of the song is BU. The name of the band is World 5. It's available on Friday everywhere that you ever would buy, download, or stream music. Lou, we want to thank you for coming on the show. We want to thank the rest of the guys in the band, Raymond, Stefan,
Yes,
Joe,
all
and
over the
Jimmy.
world.
Mm.
And Lou, enjoy your little boy. Children are what makes the world go round.
Absolutely.
They are.
I have 2 daughters,
I
I
wanna tell
know.
you- I want to thank you. Thank you again for having me. That's
Our
yeah,
pleasure.
I've never got to talk in front of this many people before all at once. So
And
thank
all
you
over
so
the,
much
and
for
we're all
having me.
over the world. Don't forget, we go all over the world. We're in
Yeah.
Australia, Germany, London,
Everywhere.
everywhere. So you've got good exposure.
176 countries.
176
thank you.
countries. So you've got good exposure, and I think your song is really going to make you a lot of money. So you pay for your son's college.
There you go.
Oh yeah, and just say the definitely hi mom, I love you, and hello to my beautiful wife who's listening and watching right now. I'm sure she's holding Uriel right now. And so
Yay!
and
Hi,
I- and I-
Uriel and Mom.
And I just
yeah,
want
my
to
wife
tell,
Malaysia.
I just
Malaysia.
want to say to your wife, Malaysia, I'm so happy that he had the labor and the delivery for you when he had the baby, right? Like you didn't even count. You're not even there.
Yes. And hey, there's
Anyway.
more music to come too, by the way. More music is definitely
Good, and you're going to come back.
Yeah,
and
we'll
you're
have you
gonna-
back when the album
You're
comes
going to
out.
bring us more music because I like your music.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you
Take
so
care,
much,
Lou.
Lou. Thanks, World
Thank
5.
you.
Everybody have a
Bye-bye.
good one. Awesome. Gotta love it.
Ciao, ciao.
Love it, love it, love it. Bye-bye.
Not
What a
bad.
nice guy.
Absolutely.
Very nice guy. And I wasn't bullshit. This fat body. Oh my God.
No, I'm
I
sitting up
gotta
more.
sit up. I look like I'm gonna deliver soon. No, but I really liked his music and his song. I really did like his song. I wasn't bullshitting. It's my kind of music.
Absolutely.
You know, I
So
love
now we're
that.
gonna do another thing real quick because I want to play Niall Sexton's Counterfeit. D and Scott, do you guys have that?
I do.
And Scott, do you have Niall Sexton's Counterfeit?
I have it. Let me just make sure that I have it at the same time, though. I don't want to
Okay.
go. I don't want to go messing this one up, guys. Man, I was
That's
on
right.
a roll. I was on a roll there too. I was on a roll.
That's the reason why we can't have nice things.
For what it's worth, though, Ron and Jimmy, I have to tell you, everything's been looking good and sounding great from my side.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. The show's not over. Don't
Yes.
shut your mouth. Let's wait till it's
We don't
over
wanna
and
jinx
then.
it.
I mean, we
Alright.
could blow up now. You know?
So
No.
Everybody loved that last guest. So did you guys both have Niall Sexton's Counterfeit?
Yes.
I just want to make sure. So hold on. Just
So while you're getting sure, so Niall Sexton, you guys, we had him on our show a couple years ago. I met him on Twitter because he was on X Factor UK. He's really one of my all-time favorite singers, and since he's been on the show, he has a YouTube channel that he does tons of covers. But this is his actual first single release of his own music. I'm probably going to have him come on the show sometime soon, just because I like him so much. And I think he's really, really talented. And we had so much fun. I don't know if Ron will remember him, but he was like the British guy with the red hair.
I remember him. We
you
had,
know,
we had a
we had a
ball.
blast with him.
I
'cause-
mean, we really went. We carried on like.
yeah, we
crazy.
carried on like crazy, and he was freaking out because his
Only
mom was listening.
I know that. I remember.
Because he's like a
that.
kid, you know.
I remember that, but he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he was a very cool
he
guy.
was very, very generous with us. He played back with us. It's so important if a guest plays with us.
And
Excuse
his,
me.
and his name's Niall Sexton, and he really is. I think he's a super, super talented guy. I hope he becomes the biggest star in the world, because I really, really do like him. So how are we doing, guys? We got
I
it?
got it. I'm all ready. So D, whenever you are, we can rock and roll.
All right, so what I'm going to do is say now we're playing Niall Sexton's Counterfeit, and that Counterfeit, after I say Counterfeit, you guys hit play. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, now on the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the debut single from Niall Sexton's called Counterfeit. Everything good, and we're back, right, D and Scott?
That is correct. We are looking good.
Back.
Oh my gosh, and Ron has changed again, and now our big fucking 120-pound dog just came in, and I hope we don't have a
130
problem.
I got
Sit.
this is my fat shirt. It covers a multitude of sin because of the diagonal stripes and the little striped bottom one, so I don't look so fat. I mean, why should people out there have to look at my fat stomach? It's disgusting.
Actually, they say that we look great too. Everybody says we're looking good. And now that you're in your third change,
This is the third and final because this I'm comfortable with. Don't touch me.
okay.
It costs
But it's
money.
'cause it's a
It
V-neck.
costs money to touch me.
Sit, Shazam, sit. So you guys, now both the dogs are in here, so hopefully they don't knock
They
into
don't knock
anything.
lights over or hit the equipment, and then we'll be in trouble again.
And anybody who just tuned in or is tuning in to see our interview with Scott Page, there's a link in the chat room, or you can go to YouTube and type in Talk 4 TV, and the live stream of the show will come up on YouTube on the television network through Talk 4 Media, which is
And-
our station.
Posted the link to watch the Jimmy Star Show in the chat room.
I love it. Somebody just wrote how handsome you are, Ron. Who is user Zoozle?
Oh, are you
Do
are you
you-
single? Do you want to marry me, whoever you are?
You're already married.
No, I'm going to get rid of you tomorrow. Brandy and I are looking
They said
for
you're
an
very
apartment.
handsome.
Thank you. We're looking for an apartment, Brandy. Brandy's my little girl, my little honey bunch dog, because Jimmy Star's very.
Whoever
mean.
did, they wrote, "You're such a beautiful putana, Ron." Oh, that's Goddess.
Oh God. yeah, putana.
Goddess.
I'm too old to be a putana. But anyway,
I thought you had to be a girl to be a putana.
Actually, a putana means whore.
Oh,
So you could be a male whore or a woman whore. Like you're a putana.
Yes.
You were a putana before I met you. Very major putana, but now he's okay. But I don't really like him anymore. I got to get rid of him, folks, because he's mean to me.
Yeah, I'm so mean.
He's
B,
very, very mean to me.
B said she likes our shirts, and she likes my
I
shirt.
was sick as a dog last night with this coughing and throat. And at 1 o'clock in the morning, I got up in the teeming rain, cold, got in the car, drove all over Palm Springs looking for cough syrup. I wanted NyQuil. And everything is closed. I mean, this town folds at 9 o'clock. Luckily, I remembered a 7-Eleven. And I went to the 7-Eleven and they had some other brand cough syrup.
If that
Uh,
ever happens again, all you
no, but
have to do is do some
Mary,
honey and some lemon
please,
juice and boil it and put your face
pun-
over the.
I'm going to punch you severely in the head when I see you
Why?
because I was in the middle of a story. I love you, my sweet pea. But listen, Jimmy slept through the whole thing. He didn't even know I was gone, and I came back all disheveled and sick and dying, and I slithered into bed not to wake the king. There you go.
Okay.
I
next-
normally though have no problem.
So there.
I would know. Now, what did I tell you this morning? You should have woke me up. I would have gone to get it for you.
And I said next time.
Okay, but I did say that. So
Yeah, right. Okay.
that's not true. I go. Don't
You
tell
wanted
people
me to
things like
die
that.
in my sleep.
I like go all the time though. I like go and get you things
No,
all the time. If you
you-
forget,
you-
we forget butter, and I say you want me to go get it. I'm
No,
always offer
you
to
were
go
wi-
get
You were
things.
wishing me dead in that bed
I
because I
was
was
not.
choking all night and coughing.
I didn't even hear you until 3 o'clock when the dog woke me up.
Well, I've been coughing all night long. I had to sleep sitting up. You know how uncomfortable it is sleeping sitting up? Oh my God, is it uncomfortable? And my head kept going like that, and I have stiff neck now from my head falling over. Anyway,
Goddess loves you just the way you are.
I love Goddess. Goddess, you want to marry me?
Actually,
maybe
she
I'm-
says she loves us guys the way we are.
Well, don't like Jimmy so much. Like me better. And hate Eileen Shapiro, that bitch. Hate
She's in
her.
the chat room.
Oh, she's in the chat room. Get out of my chat room, Eileen Shapiro. That you don't want to come back to Palm Springs. How dare you? That you're not living here. I miss you.
Absolutely.
I love her so much, but she broke my heart. She broke my heart in Palm Springs. Anyway, so much for that trick.
Also, you guys, Ron and I are going to the 7th annual Rock for MS, Rock Against MS on
Against
March
MS.
30th. On March 30th, and you can go to just type in Rock Against MS, and you can see who's going to be there. It's a red carpet event, actually orange carpet, because
Yes,
MS is
our-
orange.
MS is orange. So it's
Eh.
a big orange carpet event. We can't wait to go because I have a very, very sweet, wonderful, loving, dear friend, and she has MS. And if we can in some way help to get her better, or I mean, I won't mention who she is, but she's one of my most special friends in the world, and I love her so much. And I know she's watching and listening now, and she knows who she is. And I'm going to that MS thing, boy, and we're going to raise money and we're going to knock the shit out of it.
And performing is going to be Marky Ramone from the Ramones with his new band Blitzkrieg that has like all these all-star people in it. It's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to have Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses, Michael Devin from Whitesnake, Kudus and Kai from Shaka Khan and Elton John, Mark Torian from the Bullet Boys, Matt Starr from Mr. Big, Ira Black from I Am Morbid, Ace Vaughn Johnson from Faster Pussycat. Gretchen Bonaducci is going to be performing. She was a guest on our show
Gonna
a couple
be
weeks ago.
Big show. Go.
And all kinds of celebrities going to be in attendance, like Ron and I, and Daniel DeCrisio, another guest of
Oh,
ours,
my
is going to be
Danny,
there.
My Danny, my
And
Danny.
Caroline Williams, the Scream Queen, is going to be there.
Right.
And it's going to be a blast. So you guys can go to rockagainstms.org and click on the link to buy tickets. They're not really expensive, and it's for a fantastic
And if
cause.
you cannot buy a ticket because you live far away, send $5. Send $1. Because don't forget, like I always say, we have 4.5 million or maybe 5 million viewers by now. And if every viewer all over the world sent 50 cents, that would make a lot of money for MS, and we could work harder to find a cure. Because it seems that the two diseases that have come up big time now are MS and Parkinson's. I don't know why so many people are getting Parkinson's disease. Could it be from something they ate years ago that's appearing now? We don't know. And we won't know until we have enough funds to find out, because I have someone in my life, also a family member, not my daughters, not Jimmy, who has Parkinson's. And I really want to get money up for them.
Absolutely. And Michaela in the chat room says, Ron, you don't have a fat stomach. You look just fine, but
And
you're
the-
already married, so go sit in a timeout somewhere.
No, in this shirt, I don't look fat because this is that wonderful designer who I love. And I can't plug him because I don't know his name. I forgot. But if you ever watched the television show called
Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek, the one that plays the gay son, he wears the same designer, and I fell in love with all of his clothes. They're basically black and white. So I have about 7 or 6 of these shirts, that are all combination black and white zippers and stuff. And everywhere I go with them, people say, "Oh my God, where'd you get that shirt?" And I said, "I got it downtown LA in the meatpacking district, which is now very chic. And there's some wonderful boutiques down there. And this designer is shown in one of those boutiques."
I was
There you
actually
go.
say
Huh?
that you look like you're from Schitt's Creek, but I didn't know if you watch it or not. I love that show.
Isn't that a fun
Yeah,
show?
but this shirt, I have to show you this shirt in total. Let me stand up if I get this fat ass up. See? It's got the blower part. It hangs all the way down. It's like down in my middle of my thigh, and it looks great when I wear it with black slacks and a black shoe.
Oh
It
yeah.
really, it really opens eyes. I
Yes.
wore it just the other night. I wore this to Chris
Chris Bennett's?
Chris Bennett's. Yeah.
There you go. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call our next guest, and while we're calling our next guest, you guys, because our next guest is Scott Page. You guys know him as a saxophonist and guitarist for Pink Floyd, Supertramp, and Toto, and he's a really cool guy. Eileen and I met him at the Oscar Gala, pre-Oscar Gala, and met him and talked with him, and I think he's going to be a really fun guest. So we're going to call him. So we have Scott and Dee. We're going to play Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, and get him on the line. How's that?
Yep. Just tell us when to go, and I'll press play.
All right, Scott, you
Sounds
ready?
Good to me. We are ready.
All right, everybody, here's Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. Oh, we're back up.
We're back on the air.
No, I
yeah.
still. So there we go. Everybody, that was Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. We want to make sure everybody can hear Scott before we introduce him, so say something.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
There you go. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star with Ron. Oh my God, I'm having like a total tongue twister day. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the legendary musician, technician, and entrepreneur, Mr. Scott Page. Hello and welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. Really, really appreciate it.
Let me introduce you to everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey, Ron.
I think you and I are going to get along really well on this interview. You have a happy soul, and I love happy soul people. And I think you're a very positive thinker. Am I correct?
I really try to do that. To me, it actually is very important to me. Yeah, no question.
It's in your
crazy to stay positive. I mean, it's so funny to me. People get all bent out, especially all of us, and like we're living better than 98% of the planet. So there's a lot to be grateful every day for. So no, I try to stay very positive. It's been
I love that. And that shows in your personality. That's really good.
So we want to introduce you to, we've got the man behind the boards up in Pennsylvania. We have Scott in Pennsylvania, and we have Dee in Florida. So say hi to Scott and Dee.
Hey, Scott and Dee.
Hello.
Hey, Scott, love your name.
Wow, this is great, man. Technology at its finest. Look, we're all together here all over the world. Pretty crazy. huh?
Absolutely. Then we have a chat room. We have a chat room full of people. Every country is represented. So say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Yo, chatsters.
There you go. And I need to give you two special shout outs. One to B. Claudie. She's in Germany and she's a huge fan. So say hi to B. Claudie. And then Eileen is in the chat room. So say hi to Eileen.
Hey, B. Nice to meet you, and Elaine, nice to see you. And I'm not seeing you, but I'm hearing you. And I know you're there.
Don't say anything nice to Eileen. I hate that bitch because she came here for a week, and I'm madly in love with her. I mean, we had breakfast. I just love my Eileen to pieces, and then she got on the airplane and she
went back to
flew
New
away.
York.
So I hate the little snatch.
If you want to talk about somebody that's positive, that's her. She's got a definite, very positive.
Don't you love Eileen?
Eileen is the best.
Everybody loves her. But she
Yeah.
came here, she teased me with her huge breasts for 1 week, and then she got on the airplane and left.
There you go. So everybody, listen up. First of all,
Jilted, am I?
first of all, you guys, we want to let everybody know. So anybody who
Wait,
does,
let me say it. For you boring people out there who are nowhere people, we used to call squares. There was a group of performers called Pink Floyd. Now that wasn't Pink Flamingos, that wasn't Pink Shirts, that was Pink Floyd. This guy is one of the members of the incredible Forever Pink Floyd. Now you know
and
who he
hold on,
is.
we should say it because he's a saxophonist and guitarist for Pink Floyd. He's also been with Supertramp and Toto, so like three super
Yay.
groups. which is unbelievable. And he's not conceited, and he's not a dick, and he's like super nice. And like you meet him, and like he's just like talking to your next door neighbor, super cool, super approachable. Although he's accomplished so many
Jimmy?
great things.
I've met a lot of rockers in my day, and they're all like that. They don't have, David Bowie had a head. He was a bit, up in the clouds. But David Bowie was, after all, David Bowie. But I
Sure.
mean, most of the rockers I know, who I like? Country Joe and the Fish.
Oh yeah,
That's, sweet
great
people.
band. Yeah.
And sweet people, nice people.
Yeah,
You gotta-
it's actually interesting. So many times, it's a lot of these artists kind of get a bad rap, and they're actually really nice people. And it's really the people around them that actually get them the bad rap.
Oh my God, we
to
talk
protect
about that.
everything.
It's the managers.
We talk about that all the time about how
Everybo-
managers and agents mess everything up.
Everybody should fire their fucking managers because they have wrecked more careers. I have heard stories over my 58 years. I'm 58 years in this business. So I have heard 58 years worth of bullshit about my manager, my poor management. They make decisions that are wrong. I mean, you could play for the president of the not this one, another president of the United States. And your manager could screw it up where he asks too much money. I mean, stupid shit like that.
Well, yeah,
Ma-
especially
and it-
today.
Oh,
Especially
yes.
today. I mean, because the business model for artists has changed so much, and it's really interesting. So many of the managers are really stuck. They don't understand how the game works anymore, and so they're really not doing the artists that much. That really helping a lot of them that much. And so I try to tell artists, man, you got to take control of your own
Totally
career.
correct.
And understand how the business works. It's great to
Yes.
have management and people that are on, but you got to know how to even pick a manager. Because what's very interesting is so many of today's the kind of the big managers that were around that were handling so many of the artists are falling down like crazy because they just don't understand the technology, this whole direct to consumer, everything is completely changed. So they're lost just like everybody else.
Can I give you the shortcut about
Yes.
what's wrong with managers? Managers think what they think is best, not what's best for you.
Right.
That's the mistake. They say yes and no to their feelings, but not your feelings. And that's when you get rid of the manager. Manager works for you. When you give him all that money, he works for you. He's not your friend.
I have to say too, like just as a point of interest, because we have, we bring on 2 celebrity guests every week, and we've been doing it for like 8 years now, and so we have a lot of people coming through the show, and it's fantastic. And any people that we've ever get that we always have that I have to get that I can't get them directly by like going on Twitter and tweeting to them. Nobody listens to those shows. We have like huge stars that have come on that I had to arrange it through a manager, and those shows do terrible. And we have people come on when I meet them on Twitter, and they're super friendly, and they promote it and do other stuff, and those get millions of hits.
Yeah, interesting.
So
I
it's
had
just
a
something
show-
about, it's like a bad vibe or something because the
Well,
managers are usually not cool.
I had
The
a show-
managers so often they try to take the artist and they try to chase the market, and that's a big problem. They see this is big, so they try to give advice that you need to be like that, and that's where they really kind of screw up a lot of artists because they really aren't trying to be the artist, the honesty of who they really are. They're trying to be something else. I kind of consult and I mentor quite a few artists today. And there's actually one by the name of Shalita Burke, believe it or not, who's just killing it right now. She just released her new record. It's called Religion, but she's was in Forbes. She was the South by South. She was the keynote speaker at South by Southwest. She'll be there again this year. She's very interesting because she has such an interesting story because she's big in blockchain and technology and understanding and these types of artists are the kinds of artists that are really coming today that really have a good understanding of what's happening.
I saw on YouTube because you did you played saxophone with a band called Privet Earth, who I actually know that band.
Oh wow!
I actually know them, and actually the record label that I do some stuff for once in a while actually put their album out. So like I've actually like met them and everything, and I almost played that video just because I know them, and you were playing saxophone in it
That's fun.
because you have so many great YouTube clips of you playing saxophone with like all these cool people.
What label are they on? Plug the label.
Spectrum Music Group.
Spectrum Music Group.
So like it was
and
just
there's a lot
cool.
of those bad. There's also a lot of bad YouTube ones because you get people in the audience that catch you on a bad night.
Yes.
They post that stuff up, and it's like painful.
I think though you don't look like you've aged at all. The hair is different because you used to have hair like down to your navel or whatever. But
Yeah,
other
it
than
was long.
that,
Pretty
but
much.
other than that, you look the same. Like and one thing I find extremely fascinating about you, and we're going to talk about your experience, is that you're very technology oriented, and most people who are very technology oriented are like 25 to 35 years old. Like you're way out of the realm of, and you're not just good at it. You're like a genius at it. And so I think that
I think you're selling. I think you're being ageist because you're selling it short.
I'm not saying
There
not
are-
when you see what he
Listen,
does.
we all have comedy and fun with the people who don't do it because it's campy. Like my father can't work a cell phone, shit like that. But you know how many? I'm 78 years old. I'll be 79 soon, and I do
Wow.
pretty well.
He
Yeah,
does everything.
and I do
Looking
pretty
good.
well. I mean, for an
Yeah,
old,
that's good.
yeah, well, for an old bag, I do pretty
Yeah,
well.
but he's putting on concerts that fill arenas.
Well, yeah, but you know what? Yeah, but I produced a TV show called Set the Record Straight for 8 years that went all over the world. So, you know, and I was about 70 at the time. And I never used a manager. I called Jane Russell up. I called Tab Hunter up. I called Lauren Bacall up. I called them myself. And Jimmy said, you can't do that nowadays. I call celebrities directly to their phone. I say, hi, Ron Russell, would you like to
But
be on
you
our
have
show?
to have their phone number to do
I
that.
get their number. Everybody's got everybody's number. I
You
could
can
get
find anything today.
Yeah, you're right about that. You can
I
find
could
anything.
I could get your phone number in 20 minutes. You
You
know?
can get it from me. I have it.
So you see what you see what I
In
mean?
1 minute.
No, the world has become very small, very
Yeah.
small.
Oh yeah.
The only one that gave me a problem was Liza Minnelli when I called her up for Jane Russell to do a benefit, and Liza said, "Who is this?" And I said, "Ron Russell." "How did you get this number?" "Oh my God, I'm changing the number." And she threw the phone in the air, and some guy grabbed it, and he said, "Who is this? You can't call this number anymore." And I thought, "What the fuck is going on?" Jane Russell. Jane Russell asked me to call. The famous Jane Russell, you know, Tits for Days. She was the one that said, call Eliza, see if you can get her to come in my benefit. And they were like, must have been loaded out of their bird. I mean, they was
Oh, that's funny.
they must have been playing in the snow all afternoon because I mean they were like wild.
So before we talk about Think Experience, I want to do two other things first. Number one, tell everybody and move to the side what that thing is behind you that I absolutely.
Oh, my angel. That's called the Angel of Now. And what it was is in Los Angeles, there was a thing called the Community of Angels where they had these angels and we had artists paint them kind of all over the place. And then the money, it was a benefit raising funds. So I basically sponsored one of these angels. It was painted by a girl by the name of Janice Grace, who's a very well-known artist here in Los Angeles. And she actually painted it up at Universal City Walk. And it's a very interesting piece. You can't really see the whole thing.
I
but
love it.
Actually, what's interesting is on the back of it, what I've been doing is I have these little hearts. You can't see it, but the whole back's got this thing. And I've been having famous people paint these they're these little hearts, put famous photographs. I had Charlize Theron and, you know, I mean, a whole bunch of folks. And so I'm going to put them on the back and then I'm going to auction this off for charity one day.
Oh, that's so
it'll be-
cool.
Yeah.
What charity?
Well, I'm actually right now. I'm working with the Harold Robinson Foundation. Myself, Flea from the Chili Peppers, and Nord Fisher from Fishbone. Some of the guys that I work with. It's basically we work out of Markham Middle School here in Los Angeles, which is one of the roughest middle schools in the country. Gangs on all four corners. And what we're doing is we're actually building out right now a whole music program for the kids, and we take them up to camp and we train them. And that's a big part of what we're doing with Think.
Right.
So that's the organization we've
Is
been
that-
really
is that-
jumping on.
Is that Harold Robbins, the writer?
No, Harold
No,
Robinson. he
Harold
said.
Robinson Foundation.
Oh, Robinson. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
Harold
you can
Robinson
check it out.
Foundation.
You can check it out at haroldrobinsonfoundation.org. An incredible organization. And I love what they're doing because what they're doing is they're thinking a little different. Like a lot of charities are trying to go real like big and make it, you know, try to get a lot going. They're going small where they can really make a difference. So we're focusing on Markham Middle School, building a repeatable process on how we can really support that. And then we'll expand it over time. And it's a great organization. They're doing incredible work with the kids.
Good
I
for
love
you.
it. Okay, so
Good
now
for
move
you.
back over so we can see all of you.
Okay, there
It's
you
so
go.
funny because I'm from Florida. I lived in Florida for 48 years, and Flea's dad is an actual judge in Florida.
Wow, he's a great guy. Flea is a great guy and really cares about the kids. And, you know, we're having a blast.
I met all of them like in Florida before they became super duper famous, you know, before
Yeah.
they were like they are now. But back when they were first started, it was a lot of fun. All right, so then my next thing is tell us some kind of cool story. It doesn't have to be a long one. It can be a short story of some kind of something cool that happened to you playing with Pink Floyd.
Oh my gosh, you're throwing this out at me right now. I mean, there's so many stories. and there's a few I can't tell. But
That's the ones we want.
Those are the good stories. You know what?
I know the ones you want. Now you're making me.
Well, wait a second. Can I ask you a question that I despise
Sure.
asking? And any interviewer that asks this question to me is an asshole. It's the stupidest question in the world. How did you get into Pink Floyd? I hate that question. I want you to answer it. It's a shitty question.
But he's really interested.
But I really want to know because
Well, actually, yeah. See, I was playing with Supertramp at the time, and Dave Gilmour came out and played on our record. So we became buddies, and that just doing the record. And so I invited him out to a gig that I was doing that night. So he came down to the club, and we played and we hung out and stuff. And then I had this event I was doing a week later that was called The First Dance, which was a thing I was doing at Guitar Center with 50-piece band with everybody from Tower of Power to Toto to Supertramp. So I invited them all down to that. He came back. Next day, he called me up and said, "Hey, come play on this record." So I came out, started playing on the records. A couple days later, he said, "Come on, join the band." Next thing I know, I'm flying to Toronto, and we're in tour, and we're on the road, and we're rocking.
Oh my God, that is the
And
coolest
I'm so
thing
happy
ever.
that you did.
I am too.
Because who didn't love Pink Floyd? I remember it was my Gucci hippie days. I wore Gucci and was a hippie, and Pink Floyd was absolutely the coolest band. I mean, come on. They were up there with Blood, Sweat, and Tears, who I loved also. Different music. I'm very versatile in my music,
Yeah, I was a
And,
big Blood, Sweat, and Tears fan too, because as I was growing up, I was a trumpet player, and that was one of the real first bands, them in Chicago, that came out that actually really
Right.
had horns and
And,
were featured.
and who didn't love Chicago? My God,
yeah.
we had Chicago on our show. Chicago, another great. I mean,
Actually, though,
we had such we had such great music then. What happened to music? Why did music die? Or where did
That's a
it go?
really interesting. That's there's a lot to talk about in that. I mean, because when we were making records, we had to be very inventive, man. We used to take microphones and put them in bathrooms and play guitars across the room and switch things around to try to really create unique sounds and things. And now we have everything is just like a button. You can basically recreate anything. And what's kind of a little bit sad is in those days we had to play. So when you go put a solo on, you actually had to put a solo on because we didn't have all these tools where you could cut every piece, flip it, flop it, drop it, fling it, all the stuff that you can do today with tools like Pro Tools, which is great. That's why I always say the most scariest button on the recording console is the solo button, because then you can actually hear what you actually did, and then you always go back and you start fixing it. In those days, it was really honest. We had to if you're going to put a solo on, you kind of had to psych yourself up and drop it and put it on. You had to play the whole solo, very little punching in and overdubbing. Nowadays, like I said, everything's changing. I think the biggest thing that's the saddest for me is to see the rhythms. The problem is everybody's using drum machines at the point they're hitting, and they just don't. Some of these things just don't groove very hard, and all the kids don't really know any better. And so in the old days, it was is there something about having a great drummer like Jim Keltner or Ferroni or Jeff Porcaro? When you're sitting there playing with those guys, it's just they add this extra sense of honesty and soul into the music, and that's why I think you see so much of that old music still coming back. The fans are still talking about Led Zeppelin. They're still talking about Floyd. I mean, Floyd it's a crazy phenomenon. I mean, it's still, there's tribute bands that are out there that are doing over $35 million a year playing Pink Floyd music.
I know, isn't that cool?
Crazy, right?
Actually,
I can not only imagine it, but I could believe it because it was good music. It lasted. Again, like the guy we had on before you, he has classic music because he's yesterday and today combined, Motown and today. So he's catching the young and the old. Floyd is going to be like opera in Italy. It's just going to be forever. It's never going to be
Since I met
old.
you, I've been listening to it every day.
Yeah,
first
I mean,
of all,
you listen to it now, it sounds as fresh and as new as it was 30 years ago.
So I have this movie that I love. It's called Near Dark, and it's a vampire movie. It's my favorite vampire movie, and it stars Jenny Wright. And Jenny Wright is also one of the stars of Pink Floyd's The Wall, and we had her on the show many years ago. It was many, many years ago we had her on the show. I think when we were just radio. But I was so excited to have her on because she was in The Wall and my favorite movie. And so I thought it was the coolest thing ever, to have her on. And she's really cool. So let's move forward then.
I want to ask another question. Everybody, let me put it this way. Some people firmly believe that when you played, panties were thrown on the stage. hotel keys were thrown on the stage. You guys were banging everything that came backstage. Is any of that true? Yeah, it is. You're a little nasty. You're a nasty number. Let me tell you. You
Listen,
are
let's
a
put it this way.
dirty trick.
Wait, let him
Let's
say.
put it this way. I've had more fun than any human being, and I'm alive to talk about it.
There you
So
go.
in other words, you've had more pussy
Oh,
than a cat.
Be nice, okay. Be nice.
But that's not what's wrong with that. If you were
He said he's had a good time and he's laughing.
We
So.
have, it's been a very interesting time. Yes.
if Jimmy was a rock and roller and guys were throwing their underwear up in their keys, you'd be in your glory, you little sissy fairy.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna change the conversation now. So Scott, you guys has brainchild a new thing. It's called Think Experience. The Facebook page is Think EXP, and I'm gonna he's the CEO. It's a live immersive media company striving to bridge the gap between the human spirit and technological innovation with one-of-a-kind live immersive concert experience, which their first one is called Think Floyd.
That's right.
Beyond the Wall. So tell us a little bit about it, because I think everybody's gonna love this.
Well, what's interesting, it's kind of looking at the whole entertainment industry. What we're trying to do is really invent how entertainment is being served up now. And the reason for that is you can't, like as artists, you can't sell music anymore. I mean, those days are over. So what can you sell? Well, the two things that you can sell is the relationship. People will pay to be part of your clan. If they really love you, they'll pay to be part of that relation, to have some kind of relation. Second thing is experience. And we're going kind of into the experience economy. You're seeing it every day with things like, I don't know if you've seen the Museum of Ice Cream, a pop-up, and people are going to those things. They're going to these experiences. And now technology has advanced so much. And the three big drivers that have happened just over the last few years, which is just now coming to front, is really bandwidth, storage, and horsepower. The cell phone that we've got in our little hands here, there's so much power. So all of those things have now changed the trajectory of basically entertainment and everything we've been doing, because the cost has dropped down and the power has happened. So now we're moving into, like, people have so much media and they're just overburdened with it. It says, what are you going to do with experience? So Think Experience is really a company that's building a platform that basically ties together the live experience along with the online experience. And like this first one, like you said, is the Think Floyd experience. And we're doing it in a 360-degree immersive dome. So that when you're sitting in the dome, you're completely immersed, almost like a VR experience, virtual reality experience without glasses, playing to the music of Pink Floyd. So we've done these were our first experiments we've done. We've done 10 shows. They've all sold out, and I've actually have people that have come to all 10 shows. So we know that this model works, where you're really bringing a true experience to kind of listening to the music. So we're building out right now this, and we're in the midst of putting together a deal. Looks like we're going to be going into Vegas, doing a residency there in a whole new complex that's being put together. We got tours lined up, but this is this whole idea of how do you take somebody on a ride the minute they buy the ticket. So in other words, with us, you get the ticket, you take your phone out. We're using AR. So you look at the ticket, comes alive, the experience as you walk through the art domes, all this comes alive, and then you go into the actual theater and actually watch the show. So
Space age for sure.
Actually, I have the video. I took the video off. First of all, you guys, if you want to learn more about this, you can go to the website, which is www.thinkexp.co, not .com. So it's thinkexp.co. And hey, D and Scott, you guys have the video I pulled off his website, right?
Which one is it called?
It's called Think Experience Beyond the Wall.
I have Think Experience Behind the Wall. Absolutely.
Beyond the Wall. Yep. Okay. And Scott, you got it?
I do indeed. 1 minute, 20 seconds, correct? Does that sound
Yeah,
about right,
That
Scott?
sounds about right.
Before we go to music,
It's not music. It's a video about what they do.
before we go to video, what do you think of Adam Ant?
Why'd you ask that?
Adam Ant? I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't seen Adam Ant in years, but I mean.
But you know
fine.
something?
He was great.
Eileen Shapiro has been following him for the last 30 years. And she would bang him in a minute. She told me she checked out his crotch. She said he's got a big one. She knows everything about him. Eileen Shapiro is so hot for Adamant. Eileen, if you're in the chat room, am I right? So now
She's not going to admit that
no,
now.
but maybe somebody's going to hear this that knows Adamant, and Adamant could throw her a little bit. You know.
She's met him a million times, and she's interviewed him. She's met him.
She goes to England. She flies to England
see
to
his
go
concerts.
to his concerts. She's
that's
mad.
funny.
She took us to one too in Pennsylvania when we were in Pennsylvania.
I told her, I said, he's a skinny, frail, old little man. If you ever grabbed him with those 44 double Ds, you'd kill him. You'd crush him.
Anyway,
He would be very happy, I'm sure.
Dying from
listen to him. He would be very happy.
dying from boulder kill.
So how about this then, Scott? You introduce it, and Scott and D, when he gets done saying "think, experience, beyond the wall," after he says "wall," you guys start it. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
All right, you introduce
All right.
it
So
for
what
us.
is it? So this Pink Floyd experience, what I've done is I put together kind of an all-star band. It's Stephen Perkins from Jane's Addiction, Norwood Fisher from Fishbone, Kenny Olson, who started Kid Rock with Kid Rock, did all those great records all those years. Roberta Freeman, who was out with Floyd with me, and a handful of other folks. So it's an all-star band kind of doing our interpretation and an immersive experience of Think Floyd experience beyond the wall. So check it out, 360 Dome.
Wow.
So they're gonna play that.
We don't do interviews.
There you go.
We do-
We're
We're back,
live.
everybody.
Hey everybody, that was Think Experience Beyond the Wall. We have Scott Page on the line. To find out more about it, you can go to www.thinkexp.co.
And I
don't
was
wanna mess
just
it up.
telling Scott that the chat room loves you, and the interview is going so well because we bring out the humanity in people. We take you out of the stardom glare and we bring you to the reality of folk. Because today people don't want glamour and legends like Jane Russell and Barbara Stanwyck, those people. Today they want you to be their next door neighbor, but yet you sing for Pink Floyd. So that's what people want today.
Play saxophone.
Yeah, well, didn't I say play for Pink Floyd?
You said sing.
Oh, no, I meant play for Pink
Which,
Floyd.
by the way, you guys, Scott has a fabulous Twitter. You can follow him on Twitter at I am Scott Page, Page. And
Yeah.
and
Thanks
this
for the plug.
and this show is coming Friday, March 8th and Saturday, March 9th at the Wisdom LA, 1147 Palmetto Street, Los Angeles, California, 90013. Is it sold out or can people still get tickets?
You know, I think Friday, there's a few Saturdays looking pretty close. I mean, it will sell out. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten the ticket thing, but it's, they could try. I would give
So
it a
how do
shot.
they
Wait,
get tickets?
here's-
Where do they go? Hang
no,
on.
Here's the major question before we even go there. What does a ticket cost?
Well, it's interesting. It goes anywhere from $50 to $250. And the reason the 250s is part of this experience. When you're inside of a dome, there's actually, for the high end seat, there's these beds that are connected to the band, the music, and you're actually not only experiencing the VR, but the whole immersive experience through the sound.
Oh my
And so
God,
those
that's
tickets
so
are a
cool.
lot more money, but it's really cool. I mean,
So
it's
in other words, if you go there a little loaded, stoned, you can lay in a bed and enjoy.
dude, people love this.
Of course, of course. What's better than to get high, lay in a bed, and listen to great music? That's what we
And
do.
watching freaking immersive experience,
I
right?
mean, we did that all our lives. What's new?
Yeah.
So if you guys are in the chat room, B just put up the link for their Facebook page, but it's facebook.com/thinkexp. All you have to do, and you can find their Facebook page, like their Facebook page to see everything
Yes.
that's going on. And follow Scott on Twitter. He's at I am Scott Page. And definitely want to check out thinkexp.co. And we still have like 6 minutes left. So
I just want to say I'm sorry I didn't meet you at Skybar.
But
I
we're
know-
gonna do it, right? You guys are in LA, right?
we're in Palm
Palm
Springs.
Oh, you're in Palm Springs. Oh yeah. So you guys got to come down and see the show. We're doing
Absolutely.
it again in April. We've got 2 dates in 2 weekends in April, and also one in May already booked. So you
May,
definitely got to come down. Be my guest. I'd love to have you.
Absolutely.
come.
We would love to.
May is better. We have a very heavy duty April. May is better. I don't think we're booked solid.
I don't know. It depends, because he's got a movie he's shooting.
I'm shooting a film in a couple of weeks. I just
Okay.
finished.
Oh my God! People in the chat room are writing, "I'd love to get high and go."
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Listen.
So tell us.
Wait, hang on a minute. Our show is not for prudes, virgins, or Trump lovers. This show is for people who are honest, down to earth, and real. Who doesn't want to get a little happy and lay in a bed listening to Pink Floyd and watching this video, this visual?
Oh, Eileen wants to find out when. You'll have to let us know when the Aprils
why
and
she's
Mays are,
coming
because she
back?
said she'll fly to come to that. She'll come back out
you
to
think,
go.
oh,
Right.
really, Miss
She'll come back out
Eileen?
for you.
Hang on.
I love Eileen. She's so
Yeah,
awesome,
well,
man. She's
Well,
incredible.
Well, listen to me, Miss Eileen. I'm going to blow you away because I'm going to get a big sharp hat pin and puncture your breast and show everybody that they're only air inflated. They're not real. You pump them up. You go to a gas station. You put the valve on and you blow up those. balloons.
She wrote on my text message, in April or May, make sure you find out when we can go. I'm coming back to Ron.
Oh, that's what you think, Miss Eileen.
That's okay. We can't wait to have her back.
Oh yeah, wait.
So wait, we have a couple of minutes. So what else you want to tell us? You got anything else you want to tell us? Or tell us a cool story. Go back and tell us a cool story now of
Okay,
something
you
that
can get me
happened.
on those stories. Trying to think of a story here that would be
Give
good.
us a little
Let-
bit of a dirty.
A little
one.
bit of a juice one.
Yeah, we need to get
Ooh,
people out their
ooh.
juice.
You know, there's a code of ethics amongst the musicians that we have to be careful
It's
of.
true. It's just
I
one
mean, you know,
question.
I
Answer
think
this.
here's an interesting story, just as
Let us know.
fun to knowing about Floyd. So Floyd, when I flew back, we ended up rehearsing in this airplane hangar in Toronto, and they used to have to fly where it was like 747s. The doors used to be open up, the 747s would be going by. We'd have flying pigs. We'd have all this, everything would be going on in this thing. And it was like such a strange thing to be actually out on the airport in the tarmac, rehearsing this band. And, it was a very interesting. I just remember myself sitting there in this place, nobody in the room, just the place going, pigs flying, things, 747s going by. And I realized that moment I was in the game.
There you go. I love it.
Now that story was not what I want.
I know. What you like.
Now I'm gonna ask you a very simple little.
Oh,
cute,
no, don't do it.
No, it's a simple, cute question. It's not an outrageous question. Did you guys gang bang those broads, or you banged them individually?
No, you can't answer that now. Not in the Me Too movement, because it's still they'll come back after him.
Oh, dude. are you
Oh no,
kidding?
they all wanted it. No, that was not right. I know. Listen. I've been to many rock concerts, and I swear to God, I forgot who it was. It was the guy with the snake. What's his name? I forgot. The guy with the snakes around him. The rock singer.
I don't know. Alice Cooper.
Alice
His
Cooper.
daughter's coming on in 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Alice Cooper. I went to a thing. I swear to God, on my kids, the girl next to me had an orgasm. She was coming. She told me. She said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna come from just watching Alice Cooper." And I thought, "Oh my God, what magic! What would I have to do to get some broad to come? I would have to pull out the vibrators, the poppers, and everything to get her to come."
So wait, hang on. What in the chat room? That's so what? What's your favorite Pink Floyd song to play saxophone on? Like, because I see Money a lot of
always
times.
my favorite was Us and Them.
Okay.
Us and Them was always a blast, and because I had a lot of saxophone in it. It's a ballad, so I always enjoyed playing that one for sure.
Did you
That
ever
was
see
different.
an old movie with oh Jesus, my brain went dead. With oh God, go on, talk. I'll get it back.
You know,
I'm
funny things about
I'm
us.
Okay, let him go.
I'm
Go,
gonna be
go, go.
79. You get these brain farts every now and
Yeah,
then.
that's what it is. You're just saying it's funny. So I
Hey,
remember
hey,
what's so
for God,
interesting
man.
about
Hey,
what's
for
so
God.
interesting.
Ava Gardner movie where she was in a nightclub, and there was
Ava
this-
Gardner.
Ava Gardner was in a nightclub in Paris, and this saxophone player was playing the most beautiful saxophone I have ever heard in my life. Do you know the film?
He doesn't remember.
I don't
A-
remember.
Anybody, I don't remember the name of the film. I will get information for
I
everybody.
was like, go back to him because we got 2 minutes. Go.
Wait,
No, I was
wait,
just gonna
wait.
say. So
Let's
when you know
push
one of
this.
the things.
Wait, do you ever play sexy saxophone?
Everything. he
Because
plays is
Absolutely.
sexy.
saxophone is very sexy to me.
It is very sexy. I should have had it out. I could have played you guys a song
I'm
next
very-
time.
Next
We'll do it
time,
again.
Jeff.
Next time we'll play.
Yes.
Sax-
Okay, so tell us the story you were going to tell us.
Oh, I
Quick,
was
you
just
got
gonna say,
2
finishing up us and them. So it was always interesting because what would happen is I'd come out on the stage, and it's a big part with the saxophone. I'd come out, and they used to have this heavy, high wattage spotlight right behind me, and the place would go dark, and they'd hit this spotlight and it would just like I looked like I was glowing. But everybody's looking at me this way. But what I would see on the other side is I would see my shadow against the stadium, right? You know, like when you do one of these things.
That's
And so I
fabulous.
used to sit there and play this whole story where it actually make and nobody could see it except for me because I was like on the back of the stage. So that's what I loved about us and them. It was fun to do.
Well,
that.
the next time you come on, I want you to play lazy, sexy, blues
Oh.
saxophone.
Okay,
That-
next
That's
you
my,
got it.
That's my thrill. in
Actually, the
life.
chat room is all going. They would die if he actually played saxophone.
No.
If
So
I
that's
had- if I
good.
had
But
more
when
than a
you-
minute, I'd grab it, but I can't. It'll take me
No,
more than a minute
but-
to get it.
People out there that don't know what I'm talking about, please. The movie was with Gregory Peck and Ava Gardner, and they were in Paris in a nightclub, and this black guy was playing sexy, lazy saxophone, the best saxophone I've ever heard, except for Scott.
Let's say,
Thank
so
you.
So everybody listen up. This is Scott Page. You can follow him on Twitter. I am Scott Page. Go to thinkexp.co to find out more about the Think Experience. Like the Facebook page. And before we go, just blow a kiss to B because she's just freaking out. There you go. We want to thank you so much for coming on
Thank
the
you.
show. We'll be in touch. We'll talk to you soon. And we'll see him because he's going to go to
Right.
Rock Against MS with us.
And
That's
Scott,
right. I'll be there with that. Thank you for that. And also, I want to thank you guys for having me on the show. First of all, you guys are a blast to talk to.
But
So
let me
thank you
tell-
very much.
Let me
Absolutely.
tell you something. You're not a celebrity of mine. You're my friend. I feel like I'm your friend. We could hang out together, really have a
We're
good
going
time.
against Rock Against MS.
I know. I'll
It'll be
meet you
fun.
finally, and I'm even crazier in person.
There you go. I gotta love it. All right, Scott.
All
Thank
right,
you so much.
very much, guys. Have a good day.
Everybody,
Take care,
Everybody, thanks
Scott.
for tuning
Thank you
in.
so much.
Bye.
Thank you so much for a wonderful
everybody,
interview.
thanks so much for tuning in. Danielle and Scott from Rock Titan TV. Thank you so much, and we'll see all you guys next week. Bye, everybody. See you.
Bye.
Oh.
Bye-bye.